Right, time off seldom comes, and vacations come even less. Vacations are a nice way to recoup and recharge your batteries. But have you ever needed some time off to sort your life out after some time off? This is Vacation to the Vacation.
That's the worst part about going on vacation is when you get back. Like you leave your packed bags by the front door for, I don't know, a week or two, just staring at them, wishing you were still on vacation.
Right?
But you can also go on vacation, especially if you're going on vacations with kids and young kids and whatever else. Oftentimes those vacations turn into work because you got to get them up in the morning, you feed them. Then, okay, you go do some activities. Oh, then they're hungry again. And then, let's say you go to the beach and you're in the ocean and this and that. And you get done with that and you get everybody back and they're cranky, they're tired, but you still got to shower them up and get the sand and salt off of them. And then you're like, okay, I'm finally cleaned up. And then you got to go out and fight the crowds and try to find something to eat or whatever else. And then you just get back at the end of the day and everybody's finally asleep, but you're like looking out over the ocean going, now I could just float out there and disappear. I'll have to come back. Because you start looking back like, what part about today was fun? Then you start thinking about that SpongeBob song. F is for friends who do stuff together. But it's the plankton version. F is for fire that burns down the whole town.
Yeah, and that's kind of been my past couple experiences with vacation, especially if I'm going somewhere like far away. I'm like, it's going to be, the whole time you're thinking about it, this is going to be a great time. We're going to have so much fun. We can go see this, we can go do that. And this is particular, especially if your vacation is going back home, wherever home is. You get there like, yeah, I'm going to go do this, going to see all these cool spots. And then as soon as you arrive, like your parents or your family, like just kind of sticks a broom in your hand. Like, oh, good, you're here. Help us do this. Like, wait a minute. I'm on vacation.
Yeah, they're like, yeah, but we're not, and I need help. So get to work.
Like, that's news to me. Like, no. And then yes. Here you are, like hauling all the stuff around and like pretty much breaking your back to help them do things. I'm like, this is great.
That is true. Go home, mow grass, run a weed eater, drag brush, do all the heavy lifting that they can't do. Your parents can't do no more.
Right.
Bale hay, get poison ivy, all the usual.
Right. They have like this list of stuff that they just held off because they know you're coming.
Yeah. Oh, I know my dad's that way. Sometimes like, well, he's the type that if he goes on vacation, he has to have a project while he's there. He can't just go on vacation. You have to find some work for him to do. So like when he came out here back in the beginning of the summer, I had it to the point where I said, okay, well, we'll close off the other side of my garage, right? We came up with a project and it was nice. I'm glad he helped and we got it done and it looks really nice. But he's that type that there has to be some project involved. It can't just be going and chilling in a cabin somewhere or whatever else,
I know exactly what you mean because I had a family member, a grandfather, matter of fact, who is exactly like that. Like, just sit back, relax, have a good time. You're on vacation, and then here he is at like 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning, just like cleaning the house for no reason. I'm like, what is that noise? And then,
vacation rental, yeah.
Like, I mean, you don't have to do that. You're like, I got it. Like, no, it's fine. I just need something to do. Like, okay, this is how you relax. Okay.
I remember, so funny. I remember that's how you know the sign of a true workaholic. Because even when they're on vacation, they're still doing projects, right? So, and they're like, oh, but it's fun projects. It doesn't take up the whole day. It's just little small tasks that you can get done. And it feels good to accomplish something. I'm like, I guess, but being able to take vacations, accomplishing something. But anyhow, we'd be at this, my dad and then my aunt and uncle and their family and my family, we'd all rent a beach house together. But then we go to the beach house, the same thing, 5 o'clock in the morning, you hear drills going and hammers and this and that. And you're like, what the heck's going on? And then your dad comes wake you up. Hey, come here and I need help carrying these boards. And you're like, what's going on? They went to like the local hardware store and bought some stuff. And like, well, we noticed some things wrong with the house. So we just decided to fix them. So they're not an inconvenience for us while we're here. And I'm like, it's a rental property. Like, who cares,
Right.
Like, no, we're going to fix this stuff. I was like, oh, okay. So on vacation, you're back to working.
Right. And those are the kind that kind of makes it feel like you have like a second life, which is another work life. Because getting the time off, like you mentioned earlier, is an accomplishment in itself, because there are times some jobs won't even let you go on vacation, even though you have the hours to take them. Like, I know this was true when I was in the service, and in this one company, like I really had to justify why I had to go on vacation. And for some civilian jobs, it was real mind blowing. Like, why do I have to tell you or justify why I need to go on vacation? Like, because I want to?
Because I've earned that time?
Yeah. Like,
yeah. It's really strange. It is really strange. Certain places like, cool, where are you going? You're like, if you're cool with your bosses, I'm, oh yeah, I'm going here, going to do this, going to do that. But there's some places you work and you're like, homie, I don't want to talk to you at work about work. Definitely not telling you what I'm doing in my personal life.
I know exactly what you mean. I actually had a boss once where, hey, where are you going? Who are you going with? What's your address going to be when you're on vacation? I'm like, excuse me?
But yeah, they say
then
it's
you
always
actually,
because in case something happens, we can find you.
right. And that made sense. But then this guy will actually check up on me. Like, what are you doing here? Like, see, that was work me talking to you, but now this is personal me, and I've never met you, so
New phone, who this?
right?
Or like you tell them where you're staying and they pull it up on Google Maps and you're like, oh, is this where you're staying? You're like, wait a minute. Hold on. Why are you going this in depth with it there, Sherlock Holmes? There's no reason.
Yeah, exactly.
Or like you go on, well, like for instance, the vacation Kool-Aid and I just went on. We had our 3 kids and then we had my 2 nieces and nephew. So there was 8 of us traveling together, but we were rented this quinta, a little ranch down there. It had a little swimming pool and stuff, but with so many kids running around, and then, you know, her family down there and their kids and everything else. But, you know, get up every morning cooking breakfast for a ton of people, and then, all right, you go and have some fun, but then you're cooking more again and you're doing all this. And then at the end of the night, every night, you know, you have a big party, which was fun. But then there's a lot of flies and red ants where we were at. Dude. So like we always cleaned up at the end of the night because kids always spilled food. Thankfully we had like an outside kitchen area.
Uh-huh.
So you could cook outside and keep the mess outside, but it was like a nice big tile floor. We always like scrubbed it down at the end of every night just to keep, you know, ants from coming everywhere and a buildup of flies.
Ew.
But you start looking back and you're like, man, did chores every day. Like normal chores.
It's like, who went on vacation, man? Me or them?
The kids, I guess.
Right. It's like, but you guys are on vacation all the time, for the most time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, yeah. At the age, especially at the age they're at, their whole life's a vacation.
Right. I want your life again. Like, just let me have your life where I literally have to worry about nothing.
Yeah. They said the other day, like, I can't wait to grow up. I'm like, never say that. Never say that. Stay. It's like the Adam Sandler thing. Stay young forever.
Stay here where he's like jiggling his face and whatnot.
Where it's safe.
That's literally me to my kids. Like, stay here. You don't understand.
Don't grow up.
Bills will drain you.
Place.
Bills will drain you.
But that's how it is though. You do some of those trips like that, and then, you know, but at the time you're having fun because you're with family, you're with friends. But you come back and you start looking back at all the things you did, and you're like, wait a minute, that was a decent amount of work,
right? This reminds me of a trip when I went to Seattle to visit Bubbles and Shoreline, matter of fact. And when we're actually with them, it was fun. But like the whole events leading up to it, like the drive to get to somewhere or to find parking anywhere or to kind of get ourselves situated was such a hassle because some areas in Washington are super busy. And I don't know what it is about big cities, but everyone there is in such a huge rush to go anywhere. Like, calm down, man. And so I'm like, I'm like people dodging, traffic dodging, doing all kinds of stuff, like trying to be extra aware of what's going on because reasons. And like you almost don't even have time to relax. That's how some of these
Well, in 9, she was pregnant at the time or just giving birth? I can't remember.
no, she was pregnant at the time, so that added to it too. So
yeah, so that added to it, and she's not feeling good, and just
yeah,
everything that can go wrong will go wrong. Yeah,
right. Yeah. Now that you mention that,
or you have like family arguments and stuff like that.
Yeah,
and
or like especially like with pregnant individuals, they can only handle so much. They can only stay on their feet so much. So we gotta like find areas with decent places to sit down and whatnot. And some of those aren't like the nicest. So
oh yeah, especially when you're in the inner city. Hell yeah.
Yeah. But all in all, it was a great time. I had a blast, especially where some of the areas we went at. Like there was this one reservation area or Native American reservation we were at, and it was beautiful. Like not a building in sight. It was just solid trees, water, streams everywhere. Like, it's freaking nice. I want to just live here. And then we made the trek back to the inner city and like, wow, what a stark difference.
Like I kind of don't like the city anymore.
Right? And like I started thinking to myself, man, maybe I should just build a cabin in the woods. Screw it.
Just live off grid.
Yeah. Right. But
then at the end of the vacations, you come back. Like I said, you got to unpack your bags. And if you're traveling with kids, you got dirty clothes and everything else. So like for me on this trip, I was fortunate. I took one extra day after we got back, and I spent the whole day, getting caught up on chores around the house and things that had, been put off for a week or so. And laundry, did like 7 loads of laundry and stuff, which is nice because it made the rest of the week easier, right? You do all these things to make the rest of your week easier, but it's that one day after you're like, man, what was the point,
Right. Yeah.
Madness.
Yeah. And that's how I felt too whenever I come back from a major vacation. I mean, we do the best we can to like clean everything up. So when we do come back, there's not a whole lot to do, but you really realize like how much or how little you did when you come back. like, oh, we got to put this away. We got to do this again. Well, make sure the house has been stagnant for however long. So now there's like a certain stuffiness or whatnot to it. And like, bless. Okay.
And then that whole day you're doing all that stuff, you're also thinking about going back to work the following day.
Yeah. I'm like,
I'm trying to get prepared and back into the saddle for that.
Yeah.
I'm trying to get mentally caught up. I'm fortunate at this time I don't have a, company phone or anything, so I don't have to check emails like you and I were doing in our last position.
Oh my God, yeah.
Where the first thing you do when you wake up in the morning is start checking work emails just to make sure to see what fresh hell awaits you when you go in the afternoon.
Yep.
But yeah, I'm fortunate enough to do that, but that's coming back here soon.
Yeah. Man, I remember I think it was that vacation from Seattle. I checked my company phone. I had over 3,000 unread emails. 3,000. I thought I was seeing things like, did I mess something up here? Right. And granted, a lot of the emails was just reply all from other people. It's like they think the email is like an instant messenger or something like that.
Yeah, it's Skype Messenger or whatever.
Yeah, but just seeing that 3,000, like, what the heck did I miss? I was only gone for like a week.
And you just realize you just missed a bunch of BS.
Right? Like, we really dodged the bullet on that one. Shoo!
Dude, that is the best. That is one of the best feelings about coming back to work after a vacation is when you come in and you start going through the emails like, God bless. Last week looked like it was a dumpster fire and I missed all of it. Yes.
Thank you. Powers that be.
That is one of the best feelings, though. You come back, you're like, oh my God, and you start asking questions, and everybody goes, oh, dude, be thankful you weren't here. And I'm like, oh, I'm very thankful. I just want to know the atrocities you guys had to deal with that I didn't.
I'm highly thankful. Now I'm just kind of rubbing it in your face. Meanwhile, while you were doing this, I wouldn't do that. That's kind of a dick move, but
yeah, I wouldn't do that either.
It's nice to hear like a lot of the craziness happened and you weren't around being caught in it. Now, speaking a little bit about going back into work, you ever get those days where you're coming back from vacation and you gotta reteach yourself how to do work.
Oh yeah, like doing certain reports or a certain, I don't know, it could be even certain maintenance tasks where like you spent like that 3 months leading up to that vacation, like trying to perfect it, and you finally get that task and it's repetitive and this and that. And then 2 days later, you go on vacation for a week or a week and a half, and you come back and you're like, I don't know how to hold the tools anymore.
Right. Or like say like, you know, the processes have like been going through changes every so often. And then you go off, you have a great time on your time off, and then you come back and then you're trying to relearn the steps as to what you most recently recall about a process. And then like, okay, it was this, now it's that. We're going to do this step. Okay, now this is irrelevant. Now we're going to do this one. And then you show up to work and all of it's different. Like, well, what the hell?
Well, so to add to that would happen to me a lot after deployments. You go away for 6 to 9 months and you come back and you're like, okay, you get your tasking for the day and you go out and start doing it. And then this, you know, management, supervisor, whoever, your lead starts yelling at you. Whoa, what are you doing? What are you doing? Like, I'm just doing this. The same thing you assigned to me this morning. Yeah, but you're doing it the wrong way. What do you mean I'm doing it the wrong way? I was like, this is exactly how we did it. You know, it might not be a maintenance manual reference task. It could just be, I don't know, any just hangar cleanup or organization or cleaning the surface or something like that. Whatever the case is. No, we don't do it that way anymore. Well, when did that change? That changed last November. Okay, well, I left in September and it's March of the next year. So it'd have been cool if somebody would have given me a heads up, you know?
Right. Or like say you get to work, you clock in, you start doing your daily routine, and then someone comes in like, oh, hey, we're all meeting outside to do this. I'm like, what? Yeah, we do this every Monday now. Like, when the hell did this happen? Oh,
yeah, meetings. Meetings is a big one. Hey, why weren't you at the meeting this morning? What meeting? We meet every day at 7:30. The hell we do. We meet at 6 a.m. for the beginning of shift, and then we go about our day. And the next meeting's not till 10:30 or something. Mm-hmm. No. We started this new meeting. It's been going on for months and months and months. Well, I've been gone months and months and months. Oh, well, your boss should let you know. Well, he probably should have, but they didn't. You know what I mean? Like, Jeebus.
Amen to that, right? So, like, going back into work is always going to be like the hardest reality check out of everything. And I feel like that's when like I really need some time off after my time off to kind of just like mentally prep myself for the fresh hell that awaits, right? Sometimes a day is not enough. Like, okay, I did this day to get my house situated because I know I'm going back to work. And then you got to take like an extra day to 2 days just to kind of psych yourself out to want to go back, you know? And your vacation could have been forever. Like sometimes it's a week, sometimes 2 weeks. Heck, I've taken like a whole month off once. And when I was coming back from that last day of the month or that month off, I'm like, what do I do again? I start having like
even come back after like baby leave or something like that, right?
Yes.
Where you're out maybe 2 months or more.
Mm-hmm. And
but I wish when they would come back after that kind of a time frame that, you know, leadership or somebody would say, hey, I know you've been out. Here's a couple of things that's changed since you've been gone. You know, read up on it or just say, hey, you've been out. Sit down, catch up on emails and training, any overdue training or coming due training for the first day or something like that, just to let you ease back into it instead of coming in like, hey, cool, you're here. Well, we smoked the engine yesterday, so we need you to get on that real quick and that engine change. And then also when you're done with that, you know, go take care of these other things. Oh, okay.
Man, that you just explained like 2/3 of my life for right there. Like I come in, like the second I step foot into the work environment, oh, good, you're here. They just like dump their load on me. Like, what is this? Oh, this is
like, yay, relief.
Like, this is everything that I need you to help me out. Like, what is this? Project X. What the heck is this? I don't know what the hell this is. And how
Even
the
your
heck-
own coworkers though do that kind of stuff. Like, oh, thank God you're back. Here you go. And you're like, what is all this? Well,
Right.
it's just figure it out. You'll figure it out.
Yeah. And then all the other like management or leads, workers, whatever, they can smell that you're there, and they all just start coming in like, okay, hey, what's up with this? What's up with that? Like, hold the hell up. Like, I was not here for however long, and
Yeah.
I need you all to slow it down and explain to me what the heck's been going on, because apparently, like, I'm like omnipresent at all times, and I somehow know everything. So, need to get that out of your mindset and then explain to me slowly what we're doing.
Yeah, or if you're in a leadership role, you come back and things are in disarray and people are arguing. What the hell happened last week? You know, go talk to so and so. They're being an idiot. I'm like, whoa! What started all this? Everybody was all kumbaya before I left, and now everybody's fighting for the throne, the Game of Thrones status. Everybody's murdering each other.
Right. Like the one like peacekeeper leaves for the day, and they take that as an act of violence.
Yeah.
Today I choose
You were the glue
violence.
that held it together. Tonight the castle falls.
I woke up today and chose violence. That's what they said today.
I tell that to one of my guys almost every day. Like he's a really funny, witty guy, and I'll ask him a question. He'll give me a real smart ass answer. I'm like, oh, so that's how today is, huh? Just woke up and chose hate. Okay, all right. I see you.
I see you. You know, I say that a lot now because it's so trendy and it's so catchy, but I also like feel that so deeply. Today I chose violence.
Yeah, I woke up today and I chose anger.
I forget who I saw this from. I think it was from the sisters over at the DTM podcast, where they posted a meme that says, your mental health matters, choose violence, you deserve it, or something.
You deserve it.
It's like, you know what, you're right. You're absolutely right. I will be violent today.
So since we're a podcast about aviation maintenance and other things aviation maintenance related, what's that beach where like the end of the runway is right at the end of it and people get blown away by like 747s trying to take off and stuff? Where the hell is that at?
Oh, damn.
Is that in the Philippines? Any one of our Philippine listeners want to chime in on that one?
Yeah. Please
Imagine
do.
like, oh my God, these planes have been kicking my ass for months. Oh, I needed this vacation. You go out there on the beach with your little beach towel and umbrella and basket and, you know, cooler full of cold drinks and stuff and snacks. You lay down on the beach like, man, this is the life looking ocean. And all of a sudden, a fucking 747 just blasts you into the sea.
That's a terrible time, man. I mean, if that is in the Philippines, Philippine listeners, please educate us. What is going on over there?
Can you imagine? Like, God, I'm so sick of these planes. I just need a break. And then, you know, Revenge of the Planes is boom.
Dude, there's this one country, I forget where, but the airport is right in the middle of a major freeway. So, like, traffic has to yield when the airplanes come and go. And then,
What?
yeah.
Really?
Yeah, I forget the country. I swear I'm gonna Google it now. But it's like no kidding, a major highway, and they all stop and yield for planes crossing, basically, to take off and land. And then,
Oh my God, I'd be the one dumb tourist again over there. Man, thank God I'm out of work, not in the hangar, just free this week. Like, man, this is a really big patch of concrete here. It looks like a run, and then a freaking Airbus
God.
creams you.
Oh my God. That reminds me, in Hawaii, where I was at, there's a road that goes to one of the major beaches that everyone goes to, and the road that leads to the beach, it crossroads with the runway, for this air station that we're at. I mean, most times on the weekend, the airfield shut down, so people just come and go as they please on that road. But on the weekday, people still want to go to the beach and whatnot, and they would have to yield for the aircraft that are coming and going from the takeoff ramp. And when I first got there, all I knew was that, hey, take this road to go to the beach. And then I see these gates that come up and come down, kind of like a railroad gate. I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
What the hell is this? I thought I was lost. I'm like, where am I going? And then I see an aircraft land. I'm like, holy shit.
What are you doing out here, plane? You're in the wrong place.
Yeah. It was like, plane, what are you doing? And then here's like the security
plane's
guard.
lost, not you.
Plane, where are you going? And then someone waves at me like, yo, look at the sign.
Go home,
no
plane,
shit.
you're drunk. Oh my
man.
God.
I mean, nowhere near as bad as the 7047 beach, you know, like you're just having the time of your life and then the jet wash just blows you out to sea.
Dude, that would upset me so much.
I was like, yeah, I'm done. I'm going, like, work is better than this shit.
So I was watching a YouTube channel the other day, and there was this guy called Paolo from Tokyo.
Yeah.
You ever heard of him?
Yeah.
But yeah, he explains like all Japanese lifestyle, culture, foods, living accommodations, transportation, just all things Japanese.
Right.
And primarily Tokyo. But he was talking about taking one episode was on like working in Tokyo and taking vacations, and it's very like people do get vacation time, but it's very uncommon for someone to take vacation. It's almost frowned upon, and the culture dictates that if you are going to take vacation, you have to go around to, like, say you work in a team and you have to get the approval from every member on your team for you to take time off, because they have to cover your parts of the project while you're gone.
Dang.
And so you have to, again, get all your team's approval, and then have like then you go to your boss and have a paper with everybody's signature and say, okay, everybody agreed. Now you have to get the boss to agree. If the boss agrees, and you go on vacation, but you also have to bring a gift back.
Oh,
if
yeah,
you don't bring a gift back, it's like a double slap in the face. The first slap in the face was you going on vacation and leaving your coworkers, and the second slap is not bringing a gift back for them as a thank you for them covering for you when you're gone. Yeah. Now, I know not all cultures do that. Definitely not here in the States. And I wonder if there's other cultures that do that as well. Now, he also said that a lot of people don't take time off because I think in Japan, he said there was like a dozen or more. I think he said 19 national holidays a year.
Mm-hmm.
So they get a lot of time off, more than we have here in the States. So maybe that's the other side of it, right? Is they don't take as much personal vacation time because they get a lot of long weekends here and there scattered throughout the year. I think he said there's like 1 or 2 a month, and sometimes 3 or 4 a month almost, right? Yeah. So like imagine those months where you have 3, like every weekend's a long weekend type thing. Huh. So maybe that's why. But I wonder if some of our listeners would chime in and tell us like, hey, what's that vacation culture like in your countries?
Please do.
I'd be curious to know.
Yeah, I'd definitely like to hear about that. Like, what's vacation time for you guys like? Or if you even take them, right? Are
you even allotted vacation time, right? There's some companies out there that don't even provide paid vacation for other people. And that's another thing too, right? Does your country provide paid vacation or not? If you take time off, is it just unpaid? Yeah, you can take the time off, but I'm not paying you for that time. Right. Whereas a lot of places here in the States, yeah, you can take paid time off, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So I wonder, I'd be curious to know if our listeners want to hit us up on the social medias and let us know what it's like where they're at.
I definitely want to hear stuff about that, especially from other cultures. Like maybe we're the ones doing it wrong. Maybe we can learn something.
Well, I remember years and years ago, I was traveling as soon as I graduated high school, I traveled to London and then Paris. And while I was in Paris was like, it was obviously a massive city. So there was a lot of people, but a lot less than I was expecting. And we were talking to some locals and say, well, yeah, you're here right in the middle of, peak vacation season. And I guess a lot of people in France and probably maybe other parts of Europe, they get like 8 weeks of vacation a year. So whether from the lowest paying job, minimum wage job to the highest executives, like everybody gets like 8 weeks a year. And so everybody was down on the coast or whatever else because it was summertime. So we definitely don't get that here in the States. Like here you have to work so many hours, and for every hour, so many hours you work, you get this many hours of vacation. So you have to build it up just to be able to take time off.
Yeah.
You know, but they're no matter what every year it's like 6 to 8 weeks or something like that. So I don't know. I think we are doing it wrong to a certain degree, but here in the States. But yeah, I'd be curious to know what other countries are like.
Most def, please tell us. We would definitely love to hear about it and maybe experience some of that vacation time with you.
Yeah, send us some pictures too from you guys' vacations you've taken.
No kidding, please.
Maybe put them up on our social medias and comment on them, and maybe even do an episode where we comment on the vacation pictures.
That's a good one. Definitely. Final thoughts, MVP.
Vacations definitely necessary, but if you don't do it right, they can oftentimes be more of a headache than they're worth. But just plan it right and go places and see things.
Most def. And like I said, the vacation time is meant to recoup, recharge. That's why it's incorporated almost everywhere you go. As part of your vacation planning, besides having the fun, also include some time for you to reintegrate or put yourself back into the mix before your actual work day. Because you will kind of fall into like this small window where you get like post-vacation depression, where like you had such a great time, you had a blast, and then now you're back into reality, and now you just feel lower than what you were before you left. So
yeah, that's a good point. Give yourself time to reacclimate into normal society.
Well, definitely do that. On that note, everybody, thank you for listening.
Have a great day.
We'd like to take this time to thank our patrons for supporting our show and allowing us to continue to make episodes, maintain our gear, and create merch for all of our listeners, with special thanks to Erica Lamont, Chris Hawkins, Ryan Frushauer, Dan Schubert, Jenny Dignan, and the ladies of the Dick Talk and Mimosas podcast. Thank you all so much for your support and patronage. Visit our shop at cancelformaintenance.com and grab some swag to show off both your support for us and your prowess as an aircraft technician. If you have ideas for the show or you'd like to be a guest on the show, visit our contact us section and send us a line. We will do what we can to get your ideas or yourself on the show. You can also follow us on social media, such as on Facebook at Cancel for Maintenance, Instagram at Canx, that's CANX for Maintenance Podcast, or on Twitter at CXMX Podcast. Check out some of our affiliates like Rockwell Time, where they make both rugged and classy watches to fit your lifestyle. Use the code CX4MX and save 10% off your purchase. Support us on Patreon. Our patrons get exclusive perks such as access to our Discord, discounts and early access to merch, special patron-only episodes, and so much more. Thank you again so much for listening, and we'll see you next time.